chairs that are oversized, but a few that are normally sized for people of your stature, and a soft folding couch. He sits behind this desk that is, despite everything else being adapted to his size, way too small for him. So when he sits down, his knees are actually like the same height as the writing surface. He pulls out
awkward desks.
Yeah. He pulls out some ordinary pipe weed, tobacco, and he begins stuffing an oversized pipe and will offer it to anybody else who smokes.
Pull out my own and smoke a bit.
How tall is he?
He's 8 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
Think
and
clown
broad.
and tiny car, I think.
Yeah. When you pull out your pipe, Ondil, he doesn't say anything, but he does give you a frowned look. Kind of furrows his brow a little bit and looks unpleased to see it. But he does not say anything.
Yeah, I'm still doing it. I'm not offering it to anybody, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're not sharing. I got it. All right, give me 1 second.
I will
As a result of
give
him
you a
making
second.
smoke that whole carton of cigarettes, isn't it? You got addicted.
Has there been a funeral for her yet?
Not yet.
No, he's invited us to the service.
Got it. Well, whenever Tony's ready back, I will want to say something.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I will sort of go near him and put my hand on his shoulder and say, darling, is there anything we can do to help with the funeral? Is that why you called us here? Because I would love to make it beautiful and for everyone to just remember her the way that she was such a kind, beautiful woman.
Well, I would be delighted for anything to make the affair less funeral-like.
Oh, of course. We'll have garlands. We'll have flowers. I think Pyro will play something more upbeat. It's going to be perfect. Trust me.
Maybe a fine line between the two. That's only part of the reason why I called you. Listen, I've got some affairs.
And he gestures to those of you that had received letters that would have indicated that he's having problems in the area. Not all of you did receive a letter, though. And he sort of takes a moment to pause and puffs out his pipe a few times before he continues and says,
See, when Mum passed, I should have received a receipt of transference from the Chamberlain of the Courts, indicating that this place is mine now. And I haven't.
I think everyone would have received a letter except for you, Pyra.
Okay.
And I think,
out.
Ondil, if you
Yep.
were on the move, you probably wouldn't have received one.
I wasn't on the move. I was in a town. I don't remember the name of it, but a town.
I mean, it's one of those things like couriers back then didn't always work with, back then, because Faerun happened in the past. They didn't operate with a confirmed address all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of the reason they got paid well was because they had to track motherfuckers down. So you could receive a letter, or you could just picked up on rumors and decided that it was time to travel home. Whichever you would like. Sorry, where was I? He begins to say,
I haven't received the receipt of transference yet, and I've sent multiple correspondences, but they've not gotten back to me, and I'm concerned with some of the rumors surrounding this Chamberlain. Nasty fellow, and he does not treat non-humans well, by reputation.
Would I know anything of this Chamberlain?
you can make a history check.
With advantage?
I don't think I'd let anybody else roll. That is
Okay,
your
got
advantage.
All right.
Okay. So you've heard similar stories. you don't actually recognize the man's name. It's one of those things. It's probably foreign, so it changes every time somebody tells a story. But you have heard that there was a halfling migration recently into this territory, and that a lot of them were turned away, sort of denied refugee status. But you know, it's it's very much, and it was because of potatoes. Disarn Valley is a weird place, guys. But
That's
yeah,
2 years and 3 months ago that we made the joke. I'm just saying.
you've heard
Oh wait,
about
is this
that.
a long-running joke?
Yes.
I look forward to hearing the story someday.
Yeah, write it down, or else I'll forget. So you do remember hearing stories about that, but you can't recall a specific person that was at the head of it.
Okay.
So I could use someone to go on my behalf. Currently, I only have 2 good servers that are adults, and I don't feel right leaving the place in the older girl's hands.
I would be delighted.
Well, that's something that I would love to talk more about. The other issue is...
And he kind of wrinkles his lip and he says,
goblins. There's goblins in the area. We've been on good terms with one of their tribes. Not friendly. The Shave Crest. But they've been amicable to not attacking our caravans or our people, or coming too far past the mountains. That seems to have changed. You no doubt saw the eager faces when you came into town.
The eager faces of goblins? Is he saying?
the
No,
people.
Oh,
the
Missing
children.
families,
all right.
most likely.
Just getting it clear.
He'll wait for everyone to say, give you a chance to say anything, and when no one does,
There's a caravan missing. It's about 3 days overrun now. Came up a different path than you lot likely would have taken, but people are real worried, real scared about it. And a few of our runners have also taken hits. And I'm told that the paths between Stagwick and most of our neighboring towns are havens for their onslaughts.
So are you looking for revenge then, or just to reestablish peace? As I puff on my pipe.
I think now is a good time if I don't want to miss all this conversation.
please go ahead.
All right, so the door is gonna slam open, and
Occupied.
Callista will let out a little shriek.
Yeah. Tavis farts loudly.
It's a tall figure in the doorway. Oh my, quite the reunion you've organized, Arvis. You'll see a young man, about 22-ish. Surprisingly, he's younger than all of you. Human, tall and lean. He's got long, dark, feathered hair. Lots of volume, almost to the shoulder. Pale skin, pale blue eyes that just are more piercing because of the I'm looking for the word. Well, there's a fair amount of guy liner going on there. He's got teardrop earrings dangling from both his ears, sapphire colored. He's wearing a long black coat with a high collar and feather shoulder pads. Under the coat, he's got a white billowing shirt with a deep V-neck that is tucked into a blue satin sash that is tied around the tin waist. Tight black pants, wax-pointed shoes. He's carrying a walking cane with the handle that is carved like the beak of a crow. Actually, it kind of looks a bit like this.
Did you just Tony us? I don't like this.
Maybe.
It's uncomfortable.
It's very glam rock, Bon Jovi type of vibe. Bowie.
I was thinking Bowie, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna enter the room, look at the ladies, give them a bow, ladies. Turn to the gentlemen, give them a nod, gentlemen. I believe you've been expecting me. Lord Morgan Corvus, at your service. Please, pardon my interruption.
No,
Carry on.
Morgan. I wanted you here for this. I just couldn't find you earlier.
Yeah, that happens, unfortunately. Quite busy.
No. I'm glad you're here now. Saves me from having to go over it twice.
Oh,
So-
don't worry.
When you say establish peace relations or get vengeance,
And he kind of pauses for a moment. He doesn't respond. Eventually, he playfully pantomimes first scolding a child, and then he comically breaks the invisible child's neck. And then shrugs at you.
listen, if you can get them to cease these hostilities, that would be plenty fine.
Right,
But
not
if
more than that.
not, if you can't, give them a reason to get the hell out.
Sorry, hells, plural. He would have said hells.
Right. Understood. Well, that's easy enough. Are you sure you want to entrust? Well, your Chamberlain issues are your own, I suppose.
Listen, I've it on good and wrote that some of you are gifted with silver and blade and weapon. Some of you are silver-tongued.
Or foul-tongued, perhaps.
In your case,
Well,
I have a plentiful chest.
Not physical, you get the indication. He gestures to the corner of the room, and you see an oversized war chest. And it is latched and bound and bolted to the floor. And he says,
I have plenty of coin to offer you should you take care of these affairs for me.
That is very generous, Tavis. I have been wanting this new hand mirror, so... But I would love to do it anyway, even if you didn't have anything. But it is helpful that you do.
he nods at you, appreciative for the support, and then he kind of...
At the same...
Mhm.
Yeah. I would say, at the same time, it probably would be great if we had a little bit of something to grease the palm of this Chamberlain. If he doesn't respond well to charms or other things, then money usually does the trick.
He nods to you and says,
As it so happens, I'm paying for each job. So, if you were to take care of those goblins first, you would find yourselves with plenty of coin to experience all of the capital's food, restaurants, many shops, lots of color, that place.
Well, I think we have a plan, folks. And just turns to the others.
yes, leave you here. Tavis will take care of the issues. I think.
So rude.
Well,
Quite. Of course we will help, Tavis.
I am at your disposal while you're here. I will not charge you for room or food. But some of you are gonna have to bunk up.
Oh, I don't mind that. And I might have gotten some people to come into your inn tonight. I hope that's okay. We did a little impromptu performance in the street.
Oh, that sounds excellent.
Just more customers. That should be a good, that should be good news, no?
It's always good to keep the girls busy. They tend to be mischievous when they're not. And the boys,
he kind of shudders like he's remembering something extremely displeasing to him.
best to keep them working at all hours of the day.
Sorry about that, by the way.